Summer on a plate. Soft green cabbage leaves, peppers and tomatoes filled with rice, carrots, onions, herbs and spices and gently simmered on a stove top. It does take a bit of time to prepare, but go for it. Make a big portion. It's only nicer cold next day. This dish is fully vegetarian and even vegan and is one of many versions of the Armenian pasut dolma. I always end up eating far too much of it. It's absolutely delicious. So here I have a plain cheap rice, around 300 grams. I rather have some rice left over than not enough. A bit tricky to judge exact amount here. This is a perfect cabbage for dolma. It will be very easy to separate into leaves, and the leaves themselves are very tender. It's actually perfect for salads. To help to release the cabbage leaves, we need to cut out the conical piece around its stalk. And don't try to make dolma with this white hard cabbage with the leaves tightly packed. Only do it with this young spring soft cabbage. We're going to separate leaves from top down. It needs to be parboiled so they will become more pliable. To the pan, bottom side down, the water about halfway up. Gradually, one by one, releasing the leaves. Don't want to overcook them, just to make them softer. So I simmer leaves gently and try to remove each leaf in time. And the rice we also want... Not quite cooked, almost cooked, al dente. Quite hard. The first couple of leaves are already ready. They're very easy to release. The next one fell off as well, but it's a bit hard still. I drop it right back in. Let it sit there a couple more minutes. To me, those light green peppers are ideal. If I won't have those, I would use red or yellow peppers, but not the hard green peppers we normally get in the supermarkets. All right, cabbage. Right, so that one is ready. A bit of multitasking here, trying to remove the leaf. It won't go without tearing. It means it's not ready. Just with a small knife, just gently, trying not to make a hole and above that little ball, so I'm catching all the juices. I was going to use red peppers for the color, but couldn't get them. So tomatoes instead, also very nice. Keep checking cabbage all the time and release leaves as they're ready. Our little tomato leaves here, and the tomato flesh we're going to use a bit later. And our veggies now are ready to be filled. The leaves as they should be, al dente, but soft and bendable. We can roll them as we like. A big onion here. I'm aiming for a strong taste here. Rice, carrots and onions, it's a nice dish by itself. I love it. I think it's pretty classic combination anyway. Lots of carrots, going to be very nice. So that much is left. So this is rough leaves, rough and small leaves. Anyway, I'm going to use it in soup or in salad. Olive oil, good amount. Onion goes in. Onions cooked down now, time to add carrots. It seems like a lot of carrots, but we're going to well reduce them. And my own basil here. Few large leaves, anything goes. Spring onions, green parts, only the white bit I will save for eating. Not that much of tomato paste I actually have. I have here Ivar, the local dip, 90% peppers, sweety soury. Will go here nicely. A tablespoon. Or instead just add here lots of tomato paste. To reinforce a red color, I'm also adding some paprika and switching off straight after. So we're only cooking our tomato paste and the Ivar maybe for a couple of minutes. Nice and colorful. Green onions and basil leaves. Dry herbs, probably coriander and parsley mix here. I use herbs very freely. And some allspice. And the final good mix. It's a nice thing already. Let's see how much rice it will take. I'm adding rice to vegetables, not the other way around, to make sure the proportion is good. Quite a lot of rice is left. As a last thought, a good pinch of red pepper flakes, lots of salt because rice is bland, lots of extra virgin olive oil to make the whole thing juicy and nice. It's yummy already. Just make sure it's well seasoned and well spicy. Stuff it full and then the lid on top. After all the prep, the actual filling is very quick. My trusty big saute pan here, and lots of space is left for the cabbage rolls. The leaf like that I will cut in half along the vein in the middle. Right, so this vein I will chuck. Right, so we have that kind of shape, which is absolutely perfect. Aim to roll them tightly like little cigars. I tend to leave both ends open. I've just added a little bit more olive oil because it not only makes the whole thing nicer, it also makes it stickier and it's easier to, to roll. Add more oil than you think you should, otherwise it just won't be tasty. This recipe obviously lends itself to endless variations, and the most basic form would be just rice, lots of fried onions, and some strong herb like dill, for example. Of course, tomato paste, gourmet, because of course you can make it with meat and rice and herbs and some spices. We judged pretty nicely, all of that filling will go. And the tomato pulp, which we removed from the tomatoes, pack it between the goodies. It's difficult to make it exact amount of rice versus our cabbage and the vegetables, but nothing is going to be wasted because the filling itself is delicious, the plain rice can be used. And even our semi-cooked cabbage will keep in the fridge for a good week. And the important step here, always use the plate so they won't float. Press it down gently, and now I'm going to just pour some boiling water, not all the way up because the vegetables, especially tomatoes, going to release a lot of liquid. So we don't want it to overflowing with water. We can always add, remember you can always add a little bit later if you see it's dry, but it's unlikely to happen. Usually I add too much water. So let's just aim now, say halfway up. Halfway up would be enough for now. I write boiling water in this instance because I want to speed things up. I'm quite hungry now, want my lunch. But normally I would add just cold water. It's enough. And then just lid on and cook them, I would say, for about half an hour.